way the kicks have looked tonight, it looks like they've been kicking frozen footballs.
Line drive, frozen balls. Here's Blackemeyer's kick, and this is a wobbly kick and a short one. And Williams will call for a fair catch at the 50-yard line. And that's where Cutler comes back for his third series. Claus, Indiana, I kid you not. From the 50. On first down, Bell breaking tackles. The game's first down, and a lot more to the 25-yard line. A 25-yard gain for Tatum Bell. He broke away from Julian Peterson near the line of scrimmage. Oklahoma State. To the right side again, inside the 20, and that's another first down. So after no first downs in the game, back-to-back first downs on successive plays, tackled by Hamlin. Mike Bell is the running back. You've got Smith in the slot. They empty the backfield. Bell sets up on a wing. Cutler is under pressure and almost escaped, but then he's finally taken down by Russell Davis, the defensive tackle, number 95, and that'll set up a Jason Elam field goal attempt. Elam with a 37-yard field goal attempt, and the kick is good. And just note that Jake Plummer did get into the game because he's the holder. He held, Elam boots it through, 3-0 Denver. That's the full cake.
You know, but really, to be honest with you, he could play without a helmet.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to do. He won't do anything on this play.
He hopes not. Burleson at the 49. And out of bounds he will go at the 45-yard line.
Though. We'll have this discussion later.
This is Hasselbeck on first down, the Seattle's best starting field position, and that time he's able to get it in, and Jackson is able to hold on with good coverage that time by the Broncos at the 26-yard line. Darren Williams and Dominique Foxworth both there. A little more, so that Denver has the altitude advantage, and for years, the crowd noise advantage. And this is Morris. Every home team, of course, has some crowd noise advantage, but through the years coming into Denver, and John, you and I have both done a ton of games in here. I mean, it's as loud as any stadium in the league.
Right, and you know they have that whole thing, you know, mile high. It's still in the name of the stadium. And he ran into Gerard Warren on that, who was coming his way on a stunt.
40-yard field goal attempt by Josh Brown is no good. Brown's had a great year, 3 game-winning kicks, but misses here. And Denver is able to maintain its lead. 9:36 to the half. 3-0 Broncos. Rocky Mountain sunset.
If you could write it up and say, you know, when do you want to get out? How do you want to get out? John Elway's way.
Well, Cutler fumbled the snap, and it's interesting. We were talking to him the other day, John, about not having taken any snaps with Tom Nalen.
Down lower, and he has to get his hands up in further.
Rolling right, and our first look at Cutler running to the 37, and he's going to also be the recipient of a personal foul as Julian Peterson came in and got the face mask.
Like Jake Plummer was a runner and thrower.
Grabbing the face mask, 59 defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Funny, in every sport, you're a little tight, you're a little short, you're a little bit off in terms of the accuracy.
Yeah, you don't step in, you don't put everything into it.
3rd and 8, that time he steps into it, and the catch is made by Steven Alexander, the other tight end, and Alexander is able to stay in bounds long enough to get the first down. 2 of 5 to 10 yards. Bell. First down and a lot more inside the 20 and rolled out at the 8-yard line. Kyle Johnson and Ben Hamilton, the left guard and the fullback, provided the blocking up front. That's a gain of 30, and it's 1st and goal. He goes in motion, so the backfield is empty. Cutler to throw, surveying, has protection, juggled, caught, touchdown, Steven Alexander. His first touchdown in the National Football League is a juggling act. Denver 10, Seattle nothing.
Well, we're back on pictures. Mikey, we'll come back to your email in a little while.
And here's Cutler under pressure and just throws it up for grabs, and that is intercepted and run in for a touchdown by Darryl Tapp. And when you're playing your first game in the NFL and you're under duress, and Bryce Fisher was the first guy to get in there, and then they spun him around, and he just threw it up, and it was tipped and intercepted, and a 25-yard return by Darryl Tapp.
Care of the bootleg. And whether it's Jake Plummer or Jake Cutler, you are not going to let him get outside you. Now, I mean, stating the obvious here, when you get in this situation, as any quarterback, rookie quarterback, Cutler did it.
And Seattle is within 3 because of it.
Outside.
And then Chuck Darby came in and got his hands around Cutler's legs as he released it. Now to the outside goes Bell, and Tatum Bell will pick up a first down. They'll spot the ball across the 30-yard line. He's finally run down by Leroy Hill.
Plays in his rookie year, and he's still making them today.
And this is Bell with a burst through the middle, and Tatum Bell is over 100 yards. So a guy bothered by 2 toes that have been injured, one on each foot. A 17-yard gain here because of those sore toes. He's missed 3 of the last 4 games, but appears to be at 100% tonight.
His head, but he will always tell the coaches, okay, the coach, it's what he sees, not what he hears.
On 3rd and 4, that's a first down, and then Rod Smith drops it. It's his first catch of the night, and he puts it on the ground, and Seattle with another turnover here, and this is Julian Peterson, who will run all the way down to the 35-yard line. So of all things, Rod Smith, the great receiver, 12th year out of Missouri Southern, covered and hit by Trufant.
Sean Alexander out.
Here is on 2nd and 10, Hasselback's pass, intended for Jeremy Stevens, and that is incomplete. Dominique Foxworth covering on the play, 3rd down. That was the 3rd down play. This is 4th down and a 53-yard attempt by Brown with flags down all over the field. The kick was wide. Brown missed earlier from 40. This was a 53-yard attempt. It is, or was, 4th down.
Safety, and then they play him the nickel, and they
The kick is no
mixing
good.
that up.
There's holding. 85 offense. The 10-yard penalty will be added to the spot of the kick. First down.
Wow, that's a big penalty and a big break for Denver, because not only will the ball come back to where it was spotted when he missed the kick, that's the 43, but 10 more, and that's going to put the ball into Seattle territory.
Ball back at the spot should be enough, shouldn't it?
It should be. That's insult to injury, and that is a short grab by Javon Walker.
He's their big play guy, and if they're going to have big plays in the passing game, it's going to be Javon Walker making them.
Screen to Bell, gets a block, picks up a first down, and he takes the ball to the 34-yard line. Denver has all of its timeouts. He was a little slow in getting back to his spot at left corner. It's 3rd down and 10. Cutler instead will go the other way and underneath, and that is caught, and fighting for the first down but not getting it is Nate Jackson, the tight end. So now you're going to have a 4th down here. Green, that is the ruling as of this year. Now
this is the toughest thing in this league to figure out the ruling.
Meanwhile, you've got Elam taking the snap and picking up the first down at the 22-yard line, but now the clock is running. You still have to take a timeout. I mean, that's all well and good, but you know what this is going to amount to? It's going to amount to taking a timeout and kicking a field goal again.
It's going to amount to nothing. Yeah,
I know.
I mean,
they better take a timeout. Carry ever. Now a 41-yard attempt for Elam. And it's good, but I'll tell you, he's limping away. He's limping away. He hurt himself on that play, and that could be a huge loss for the Denver Broncos. Another look here.
Here's a play, and well, that's a field goal there. I mean, I don't think he heard it there, Al. I think he heard it on the play before.
No question, absolutely. You could see it happen. Halftime, the score is 13-7 Denver. Bob and the gang coming up on the Toyota Halftime Show on the other side of the break. The receiver set.
Mike Shanahan says this is what you pay quarterbacks for.
Under pressure, Cutler throws, and it's caught by Walker. So he earns a little dividend right there. Kelly Jennings with the tackle, 3rd and 6, and under pressure from that defense is able to get it off for a gain of 12.
The only one that wanted to play quarterback was Vanderbilt, and they gave him a half a day to decide.
On 3rd and 7, that is caught by Tony Scheffler, the rookie tight end. So a big third down conversion again, and he's 2 for 2 on third down here on this drive.
You know, in big tests, he passed a couple of big tests here. One was getting the ball out under pressure, protection part of it.
So Shanahan said to the official, what was that call? Then it's dropped by Bell. And Bell can't recover it, as it looks like, was it Jay Cutler who gets in there?
Yeah, he's the guy who jumped in there. He saw it. He's at the bottom of the pile. Tell you, if it is Jay Cutler and he did get it back, his players are going to love him. Comes up empty-handed. No, it wasn't Jay Cutler.
It was the Seattle Seahawks recovering, so Cutler trying to get in there. That was Mike Bell's first fumble of the season, and the ball is recovered by Rocky Bernard.
Thank you, Super Mike.
Wind blowing up from New Mexico or something like that. 8-yard gain here for Tatum Bell as he takes it out to the 19-yard line.
You know, for
that way, for most of the history of the Bronco franchise, outside of the first few years when they were simply awful. This is Cecil Sapp on a 3rd and short, and they give it to the fullback, and he gets the first down all the way out to the 40-yard line on a pickup of 20.
Right.
3rd and 10, Mike Bell is back in the game. Seahawks show blitz. Cutler stumbles, and he has no chance to get rid of it. He just has to eat it as Hill comes in for the sack.
I thought the Seahawks were going to do more of that early, because that's what they said. You know, when you get a rookie quarterback, we want to give him. Part of it, he's not in any rhythm, but the other part is his mechanics aren't good.
And there is Alexander, and he finally breaks one for a big gain, and that's the 60th consecutive game in which Alexander has had a run of 10 or more yards, and that's significant because it ties an NFL record held by Barry Sanders, who ended his career with a 60-game streak. So Alexander can break that next week. First down from the 45-yard line. Sean again runs into his own man and then turns back the other way. And Alexander turns a 3-yard loss into a 7-yard gain, tackled by Foxworth.
Feeding him, keep it rolling.
Yeah. Not good at either. 3rd down and 3. Hasselbeck throwing. And he's able to convert as that is hauled in by Darrell Jackson. D-Jack, as he calls himself, makes the catch at the 40-yard line. First tackle by John Lynch. First down at the 40-yard line. Alexander is back in the game. The fake to him. Hasselbeck going deep down the sideline. The coverage is great, and it's Champ Bailey with the interception. And that's always playing with fire. When you launch one in the direction of number 24, there's a good chance that's going to happen.
Cutler makes mistakes. I would think and there goes Sean Alexander again. I think Plummer's thinking, gee, I wouldn't do that if I were him.
Alexander, which you would have thought they would have done the last time, it ended with the interception. Sean again, and this time Denver is equal to the task. The right side of that defensive line, Michael Myers leading the way, number 96.
As an extra linebacker, so that's almost like 4 linebackers.
2nd and 13, the pass a little behind Deion Branch, and it's the first time we've talked about him tonight as he makes the catch up at the 45, the former Patriot, the Super Bowl MVP winner a couple of seasons ago. Alexander out. Hasselbeck. And that's incomplete, and Jackson started to stumble. He'd gotten by Foxworth to the outside, but started to trip, and it's 4th down.
Puts you in a different mode. And Mike Holmgren's really a passing coach. I mean, you know, to be honest, I mean, like he and Andy Reid, they'd like to pass every down.
Oh, yeah. That punt drops at the 4 and then spins sideways.
Amazing.
How perfect was that?
Goal line going in, but you also use those plays when you're on the goal line coming out.
3rd and 6. Cutler under pressure, and he gets wrapped up and taken down. Bryce Fisher is in there again. Julian Peterson blitzed from the outside, and Cutler just had to cover up and make sure he didn't lose the ball.
Right.
Morris is the running back. Hasselbeck under pressure. Sacked at the 36-yard line by Elvis Dumerville, the 5'11" rookie from Louisville. Well, I was going to say it took him out of field goal range, but Josh Brown comes in, and they're going to pooch punt it. So they snap it to Brown. He'll pooch kick it, and is muffed and loose at the 20-yard line as Darren Williams gave up the football on the direct snap pooch punt. Because every time you have a scrum like this, you got one team saying, we've got it, we've got it, we've got it.
Tomlinson. Then the next week they have Larry Johnson.
Right.
Then this week they have Sean Alexander.
Right.
Then next week they go back and they have LaDainian Tomlinson again.
Yeah.
John Lynch called that murderer's row.
Good way to put it. In the meantime, right now, the Denver Broncos just thinking about what's happening to their middle linebacker who took that shot from Warren, and they'll bring the card out for Al Wilson.
Still no play.
Is he in gold? Is linebacking made,
Waltz.
and the rest of the Broncos look on with a great deal of concern.
And because Al Wilson is the heart and soul of this defense and kind of the whole team. And you looked like he was, as you said, looked like he was getting up and then went back down again. And again, in the NFL today, they're going to take every precaution with any injury like this.
Yep. And you just hope, and we see it so often. Somebody be down for a long time, get carted off, and occasionally it's not serious. You hear good news tomorrow, and then you have crazy stuff like Donovan McNabb barely gets hit, falls down, and the next thing you know, he's done for the season. You just never know. Andrea, what can you tell us?
Well, Al Wilson tried to sit up twice and then went back down. Meanwhile, as you can see, he's been surrounded by all the players. The players were imploring the crowd to chant his name just so he could even hear it. But really, just tremendous concern on the sidelines for the defensive leader.
Like the ones that rugby players wear now.
Yeah.
Wilson here. Seattle from the 39. Hasselbeck going to work. Throwing deep downfield. Connects with Jackson. And he takes it to the 34-yard line where he's tackled by Champ Bailey. So Hass 27.
Yeah, and that's what they had to do. They had to get up on that next level. Everything was either short or it was those deep bombs. And here they just take that middle level.
And only 159 yards of offense. First down and 10 at the 34-yard line. And Hasselbeck going for Jackson again. And Jackson is able to make the catch and get to the 1-yard line. He had to stop, wait for it, and makes the catch and is taken down just shy of the goal line. At 3 yards, Alexander's the running back with a nose for the end zone, and he is in for the touchdown. Sean Alexander, who scored 28 touchdowns to set an NFL record last season, takes it in, and on 3 plays, 2 passes to Jackson and an Alexander run, they are an extra point away from taking the lead. Alexander into the end zone, and for the first time tonight, Seattle has the lead. More information to you as soon as we get it, but a neck injury, which they're calling for the moment, is sprained neck. Here's Brian Clark from the 14-yard line, and Brian Clark will run it back to the 35 and then lose the ball. And does Tafoya come up with the ball? He does at the 41-yard line. Point deficit.
Right, and Seattle has been terrible in third down passing.
Draw Morris, and he gets taken down. So Warren comes up big. There's a flag down at the 36-yard line.
He just got blocked about 5 yards deep. Got spun around.
From the 33, here's Alexander. And he's inside the 30 to the 28-yard line for a gain of 5. So right now they are in field goal range. Morris to the outside. Can't get around the end. And Ebenezer Ekubon stops him 3 yards shy of a first down. And that's going to set up about a 44-yard field goal attempt.
Situations that they passed on. Passed up on.
Coming off that last series where he threw those 2 passes to Jackson to set him up to get into the end zone. And Brown's kick is good, so he's 1 out of 3 tonight. And with 4:08 remaining in the fourth quarter, the Seattle lead is 4 over the next 4 minutes. That's tipped, intercepted, picked off by Jordan Babineau and run back to the 15-yard line. It was tipped maybe by Grant Wistrom, the defensive end. And so Cutler on the very first play gets picked off, and the Denver Broncos have just turned it over for the 5th time in the game.
You know, and that's what the quarterback has to do. I mean, he has to, again, read the defense. He has to find the open guy, get the ball to him, but he also has to find a lane to throw it in. And you see that lane to throw it in was a little to his left, so he had to take like a half a step left to throw that. See, by staying there, Grant Wistrom is able to get his right hand up.
And John, we've always said it, and it rings true again tonight, as Alexander takes the ball to the 8-yard line. It'll play so they can hold to a field goal. It's a one-possession game. Otherwise, it's something else. Deion Branch on the end around, and Deion Branch is going to be stopped just short of the first down. They're going to settle for a chip shot field goal attempt by Josh Brown of 23 yards. And that one is good. So Denver is able to make the stop they had to make to keep the game a one-possession game. Here, having lost 2 straight, in jeopardy of falling to 7-5 in the very, very tough AFC West. Against a base defense put out there by Seattle. And first down, the catch is made by Brandon Marshall. And Marshall still on his feet. Marshall is inside the 30, inside the 20. How do you like that? The rookie from the University of Central Florida, Brandon Marshall, breaking tackles left and right, 71 yards, touchdown.
That playing soft. They had 6 defensive backs in there, but watch how soft they are. I mean, they all come back, they let him catch the ball, and then they're going to start to miss tackles. Miss tackle right there, miss tackle right there, miss tackle right there. And part of it was a good throw, part good run, part of it was very, very poor defense and missed tackles.
And bad tackling has been the story with a lot of teams this year, and Seattle is definitely one of them.
You have to make that. I mean, this is, you know, we're talking about quarterbacks and, you know, guys making plays and Jay Cutler making plays, but defense has to make plays too, and that's tackling. Unders down. We're going to find out how good Hasselbeck is right here.
They are. He swings it to the outside. It is caught there by Jeremy Stevens. Champ Bailey made the tackle. Ball in relatively decent field position. 3rd down and 4. Hasselbeck, a ton of time. Throws, completes it up to the 36-yard line to Nate Burleson. Big, big first down.
And that was the first 3rd down in about 4 or 5 that they came back and threw the ball. I mean, that lane to throw it.
16-yard gain. Now Alexander over right guard up to the 41-yard line he goes.
Defense and stopping the Seahawks.
2nd down and 5. To the outside, the pass is caught by Deion Branch. He stays in bounds. The clock continues to run. Hasselbeck says get up to the line of scrimmage. Ticking down to a minute to go. 10 at the 49. Hasselbeck to Hackett. He's inside the 40. He's to the 38-yard line. 2nd down and 12. The ball at the 40-yard line. Alexander to about the 33. Now you're looking at about a 50 to 51-yard field goal. And Hasselbeck, that's the only way you can stop the clock.
Yeah, I would have gone on that play. I would have gone pass and then get up and kill it and then kick it. They did the same thing.
In pregame, here was Josh Brown, the other end, whose range is over 50. That was a 58-yarder. Full overtime. 50 yards. Brockemeyer puts it down, and Josh Brown has done it again. 4 game-winning field goals. If this holds, there are still 5 seconds remaining. And this is one of those plays that might see a few laterals. Williams looking for somebody to throw it back to. Goes back to the fullback, Kyle Johnson. He just throws it up in the air, but you got to make sure you throw it behind you. You can't throw it forward, and the flag indicates that it was a forward pass, and that will end the game.
Is declined. Game is over.
Which has been a house of horrors for them. As we said, 4-20 was their record here when they were both members of the AFC West. A sigh of relief let out by Holmgren.